n'oluddako wendi era wendi.
Webale nnyo ssebo. Kati nnyo kati bannange top G Keith Namwa ngambye mbagambe nti waliyo Gazaland UOX League Finals ennaku z'omwezi 10 omwezi gwa August 2025 ajja kubeera wa Serenity Sports Oasis Bulenga. So mwenna mubeereyo. Precious sente zo Keith Namwa jazikwa. You can carry on.
Right. Nyamba, are you accepting omzindalo kwa Chuck? I don't know if you have got the mic. I tried to give you the mic, but right. Now the issue for SAT. Kale.
We can handle the other issues on another day.
Tadiza uzanga tetonna maliriza. Tusazeewo ki? Mama di mufere si mufere.
Kale. Cheto kyokka Chaka. Kyobadde oyogerako?
Nze just kibuuzo njagala answer musaagala bino bikiriki.
Now we're going to tackle one more issue. Ezamabugo ga tabs ngatanava. Kwane tabs mwangu afuna spaces zino. Nova. Ensonga ya sadi mpamvu tujagikolako olulala. Naye ensonga ya mabugo n'osobola gifunza n'otubuulira amabugo ge bafuna kufiirwa kwa taata wa tabs. Sente mekaze wafuna sente mekeze akola ki? To accountability quickly so that we have about 15 minutes. That should be enough.
Okay. Thank you so much, the hosts of this space. I feel a little relieved because at least Buule has been here, Mamadi has spoken. Those who really wanted about Debagala, Okumanya what transpired in good faith will understand. But we also have people who may never understand for some reasons. Now, issue at Tabzi, I'm glad that you brought that issue. First of all, I want to make it very clear that Tabz, you see, everything that comes around me, Tabz finds a way of pushing it to my end, ridiculing me, calling me names. The other day is calling me Novella, another day is calling me Zakayo, and another day is calling me this. I want to make it clear, our issue is personal. And I'm going to explain why it is personal. I went to...
Muganda wange tokola era kubanja kulagiza.
Tatisa muno wano tokkirizibwa dokisatiisa omuntu yenna wano tabs. Tuula akatebe
kakugende maaso.
You call for tuula bakuwa accountability.
Mbadde nsaba ne agasaba mugateko kweno ogundi space baba taliko.
Agasa kwa around, let me check. But she's around.
Bangwirwe ebintu. Wabewa recording.
Space is recorded.
Can I speak now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So I realized Tabz had lost a father. I didn't know him, but I saw many people concerned. Like always, I thought it was my responsibility to reach out to a brother.
You didn't know me or you didn't know my dad?
I'm not going to speak. If you're going to keep interrupting me, then we can call it a night.
Now the space is going wrong, guys.
But Tabz also,
you didn't know me or you didn't know my dad. Because that can also be taken out of context. Nova, you didn't know me or you didn't know my dad. Then to get them.
Can I be allowed to submit and then you ask questions later?
Yes, I think that's the best way because we have 15 minutes. So I think just use 10 and Tabz would use 5 and that is it.
Because I think this is very clear that someone is scared of something. That's why he keeps interrupting me. On the other topics, I would speak. So please let me speak.
Please go ahead.
I didn't know Tabz in person. I only knew him on X. I saw what he posted, and as a change, a voice for change. When I see, and this I'll make clear. At least everyone should know that I am a voice for change. I want a different country from what I see. So when I see someone who is pushing the same message, I always feel like there's a connection in that line. I took it upon myself. I made a post. I was looking, actually my main campaign was looking for people to go for this burial. By then, I didn't have as many followers I have now. I didn't have as much voice as I do now. So I made a post telling people to send condolences. And actually, people did not send condolences in the first place. So I made another post telling people that we had a car and we were going for the burial. So for those who were interested, they could join. I think something like 3 or 4 people reached out. And of the 3-4 people, it's only Pius Jadwa, who was serious, who told me, I am sending you 50,000 for transport. So eventually I realized I could not afford, both of us could not afford a car. Me and Pius Jadwa, because the others did not turn up. So I told Pius, you know what? We are not going to use the car. Me, I'm going to use public means and go for the burial. Pius said, you know what? As a sentence, I hope that Pius is on this space. Your Tabz mganda wange. Now, I normally joke with Pius. Pius, where would the money to your time? Your Tabz chali wange. Then, I got 20,000 from a lady. Honestly, I don't have a track of that because that's a very long time ago. And then I added my 50,000. That made 120,000 shillings. When I reached the barrio, in fact, I spent a night in Kabohe. When I reached the barrio, after the barrio, I called Tabz aside. I think Agatha was there. I'm sorry, I said I would have other people in this conversation. I called Tabz. I said, man, on my side, I didn't get a lot of money, but I have 120,000. And I asked him, did you get any money? I remember very well. Tabz said, I'm not sure, but I think I've received something like 600,000. That was his statement. And you should all remember that the initial tweets had Tabz's number for condolences. The initial tweets had Tabz's number for condolences, not mine. And I strongly believe that's why I didn't even get. So I don't know how much he received. I'm not sure, but I remember him telling me, I think I could have gotten something like 600,000. Now, that is what I can say is the accountability. But I also want to address this issue. And I want it to come out clear. This is where we got issues with Tabz. I have tried to be a civil person, a leader, whatever, and avoid saying certain things and pretend. But now that we are here, the record should be set straight. And people should know that you can attack people and they keep quiet, you can insult them, you can ridicule them, but they are also human beings. They have emotions, they have feelings, no matter how mature they want to behave, but they also have feelings. So, I was with Agatha and another girl, whose name I don't want to mention. I think that Agatha is part and parcel of this story, so she's okay mentioning her name. So Agatha says, my car is in Barara, but let's get someone who can drop us to Kabohe. We sit, have a drink as we wait for my car. So Agatha reaches out to Tabz and says, Tabz, can you drop us to Kabohe? Agatha says, there's my late dad's car here. Let me drop you guys. We get into the car. As we get to the main road, we find a girl that I didn't know, that Agatha didn't know, that was only known to Tabz. The girl enters the car and finds us in the car. Immediately the girl enters. She says, hey, you're our president on X. I'm like, hey, you know me. So we started that casual conversation as Tabz drove us to Kabohe. When we reached Kabohe, I told the girl, since you know me on X and I don't know you, please share. We were still in the car. Please give me your number. You have mine. Let's keep in touch. I want to also make it very clear that at further on the barrio, they introduced Tabz's wife and children. And they even said that Tabz's wife stays in Germany. And I saw her with my own eyes. So, Tabz drops us, me, Agatha, and the other person, and leaves with the other girl in the car. When we were still seated there, I brought a proposal. I'm a mobilizer, everyone knows that. I brought a proposal. I told Agatha and a friend, since we are spending a night in Barara, why don't you allow me to mobilize other Ugandans on XY in Barara, so that we spend a night, we go out and, have fun, something like that. So Agatha tells me, we are very exhausted. We had a party last night, but let's get to Barara. We get to our where we slept. You go and mobilize. If you get people, then you can let us know. If we can't make it, we shall inform you. So I started mobilizing. I called Belga. Most of you know Belga. He was then the mobilizer for Ugandans on X from West. I called people. I texted people, including those who were at the barrio. I texted so many people. And then that's when I even texted the girl I had just met with Tabz, the girl who was in the car. I texted her. I said, we are going to have a night in Barara. Can you make it to Barara? She later told me, I can't make it to Barara, but we shall link up in Kampala. I never talked to the girl again. Until, I don't know how long it was after that, when we had a Cleaning Kampala campaign. So normally, I save numbers when you're a Ugandan on X. I will put, say, good girl tweet. I will put Tabz tweet. I will put Kiria tweet. So when I'm sending information related to UOX, I'll just put tweet up and forward to the contacts. I am very sure, because I checked, that the message for Cleaning Kampala campaign even went to Tabz and that girl in question and everyone else. Most of you here, those whose contacts I have, must have received it. Then, after some time, I think it was after the Cleaning Kampala campaign, it was at night, I was in a sauna. I found a missed call of the same girl. I did not call that night. The following day, I was in saloon. She called. I also missed the call. So when I got out of saloon, I was walking away. I said, let me call this girl. When I called, the girl was crying. And there was a man in the background shouting, saying these words, fuck you, motherfucker. That kind of a language. Those are the words I overheard in the background. Then this girl was saying, Nova, do you remember when you sent me a message for the Cleaning Kampala campaign? And before she could finish it, the phone was hung up And the man kept shouting in the background. The man was shouting meanwhile. So I kept trying to call back, and they kept on hanging up the call. Now, with my ignorance and innocence mixed together, my mind tells me the only person who knows this girl is Tabz, because you met her at the burial. So, if this girl is being subjected to domestic violence, you call Tabz. Tabz should be knowing what really is going on or where she is. So I called Tabz. And the welcoming note was, motherfucker, fuck you. What do you want with my woman? Why you? That's why you came to my father's burial. Fuck you. Said a lot of things that I cannot say on this space. And then in my mind, I said, Tabz, first of all, I didn't know this was your woman. Secondly, I did not even vibe or even attempt to vibe this woman. Thirdly, your woman, the mother of your children, your wife was introduced at the burial. We are men. If you have your side chick, it is okay for you to call me and say, Nova, please, I have sent some messages. Please leave my woman. That's my girl. It is okay. It is understandable. I will either tell you I've been vibing, over that's what I expected from someone I considered maybe like a brother, because in a traditional African setting, if someone comes through for you when you have issues, then you have that connection. That's really what I expected. So when I hung up the phone, Tabz comes to my WhatsApp, and he's using the same language. And I have screenshots of that. I really kept them safely. She comes to my WhatsApp and is insulting me, fuck you. Then eventually he starts telling me, I know where you are. I can get you. Don't think you're hard to find. Using that you can talk about. And I was very shocked. Apart from when I met her, because I'm a man, let's assume is that how you call me? Is that how you talk to me? Can't you just call me and say, Nova, this is my girl, talk to me. So, don't take threats lightly. That's when I called Agatha. Because Agatha was there. I told her everything. Hey, Agatha was like, really? That's not possible. Let me talk to Tabz. When Agatha talked to Tabz, Tabz claimed that I was harassing the girl. Me, Nova, harassing a girl? That the girl reported to him that I was harassing the girl. How on earth can Nova harass a girl? On what? How? Did I even meet her? What was the harassment about? For me to deserve all those insults? For all that anger? So, I blocked Tabz. I blocked the girl. I initially, actually, I had even blocked Tabz on X, but the number I blocked and deleted. I blocked everything. That's something that I wanted to make very clear. So when you see, okay, just a moment. I want to make a comment here that everyone should get attention to. Personally, I don't believe that we should create human beings on this platform. That's why I have been solely fighting government bots, regime bots, exposing them. Because we cannot allow a platform where people defame others, lie about others, spread malicious information about others, claim things they don't know, and then they are praised, into things they don't know about, and then we are praising them when they actually have personal issues against the people they are targeting. Okay? So, you asked me for accountability, everyone. I have shared something in the notification section. I have shared something. As you asked me for accountability, I'm ready to respond to issues concerning. I saw someone say that that was Mutuzo, that someone sent $100. If there is anyone who sent $100 for Tabz condolences to me, if there is anyone who claims so, and they come out and say it, I will come out. First of all, I refund that money. Second, I will apologize, because I'm sure no one sent me $100. There is none. No one sent me that money. So Mutuzo should go and ask that person, who did they send that money to? Was it to me or to Tabz? If they sent it to me, then I need to know who that person is. I want to also set my questions to Tabz. Tabz, I want to tell you this. We shouldn't degrade ourselves when we have issues, national issues to fight. Degrade ourselves to petty issues all the time. Attacking people for no reason. I want you to also, when your time comes to speak, I have shared a daily monitor, a Saturday monitor. I want you to explain to the people here your connection, what you used to do with General Kale Kayihura. You should also explain that. What you used to do with him, why you were in that paper. I don't even want to go to details. I want you to explain how long you spent at Makerere University, what you were doing there. I want you to explain how the NUPDR forms disappeared that you were supposed to supervise in 2021. I want you to also explain that. Did you actually give enough answers to NUP of how those DR forms disappeared? So we know things. We all have our messes. We are not perfect. You cannot all the time you are on the timeline and you are all chest thumping over blackmailing people, sharing falsehoods and verifiable information. And then when people are hyping you, you think you're doing good for this country. To put the record clear, for all the insults that you have seen from Tabz, they emanate from that girl. That's where the problem came from. Agatha is here. I don't know if she's still on the space. She can come here if I've said anything wrong or if I'm lying, because I shared those screenshots with her. She has them, or she saw them. I don't know if she still has them, but she saw them. So Agatha can come here and verify.
Guys, wait. I lost the connection at the point where Nova was saying that my children were introduced at the barrio. The children I don't actually know of. So Nova, ndabera mkuja garkem.
Nova, did you hear that?
Good girl, I beg to submit.
Right.
Well,
Tabz was saying actually that he lost the connection.
I did not lose the connection. I think the space went off.
No, the space has not gone off actually for any minutes now, since Morgan did the post. But well, Nova, I don't know, Tabz says he lost connection. I don't know if you want to repeat what he says.
Yes,
or
I would want you to get it.
Okay. I wish I didn't have to repeat this.
No, you just have to. You said at a certain point, you asked, after the Kampala cleanup, you asked, you had a woman crying on the phone, and then you hung up, or the phone hung up, but someone kept shouting in the background, saying "fuck you." That's why I stopped.
Okay. So before the phone hung up, actually, I know you love to twist people's language. Before the phone hung up, a man was shouting in the background, using that kind of language. So I said that in my ignorance and innocence, my mind tells me the only person who knows this girl is Tabz, because you met her at the barrio of Tab's father. So I raised the call to tell Tabz that, hey, your friend called so and so, I think is facing domestic violence. You need to reach out to her. When I called you, because I think the rest of the people have heard, when I called you, you insulted me with words that not a normal human being can use, claiming that I was vibing your girl, your woman, and whatever. You used all that language. When I hung you up, you came to my WhatsApp and started insulting me with long insults. And I have screenshots to that. I shared the same screenshots to Agatha.
I already shared screenshots of our conversation on the timeline. Maybe you need to furnish yourself with that.
Okay, if you shared them, then that's good.
Maybe you can share the version you have. Perhaps you have a different version.
No, my personality is not to share screenshots, so I don't do that.
You said you have screenshots, so quickly I shared them for you. So, is that your submission?
I haven't seen, because you said you didn't see.
Okay.
So you insulted me, and I would expect that Omuntu. Let me leave the issue of coming to your barrio. You just casual friends. You would say, Nova, this is my girl. Please, muleke tumkwana. Simple as that. That's what I would have expected. Simple, Nova, that is my girl. Tokolati tumkwana. And trust me, nani wadi nchese onywa. But in the first place, I did not even invite this girl. Samkwana. Because it's sola kwega na muntu gwengwanyi. Ukwana, it is okay. I'm single, I'm not married. I would, So, that is where the problem came from. I blocked you, both on WhatsApp and X. And from that time, of course, people who didn't know all this would never know why on every point you have to attack me, you have to ridicule me, you have to call me names, you have to do all these things, claiming you reach a point of saying that really. Let me really tell you people. Nova lived before becoming President UOX. And next year in April, when my term ends, I will leave. I will not die. I work. I am a hustler. Many of you here know what I do for a living and where I get the money. So for you to start coming here and blackmail people and ridicule people, call them names, throw all the malicious allegations and whatever and defamatory, and then you think that you're a man, then they praise you, hey, your Tabz wakabi, oh, you're going to Nova wakabi, hey, you're in information. When back in your heart you know that I am just here to damage this person's image. That is wrong. I said, I don't know whether you were listening, I said that is why I have been fighting regime bots who failed the job of portraying a good image of the government they support, and they are always here to insult people, to blackmail people, to share falsehoods and everything. We cannot have the same people. You're claiming accountability, then you're throwing insults here and there, and all these things. We all demand accountability, especially from government officials, but we don't go into, deadening their names, killing their brands, So Tabz.
Nova, I think your minutes got finished, and I think explain what he did here. So,
I'll
5
quickly,
minutes and wrap
5 minutes,
wrap it up.
probably I'll use less than that. Quickly. Nova calls me, I knew Nova. I know Nova. I've known Nova for quite some time. Virtually, I've known him. I've seen him on several occasions, on several events, maybe one or two. Now, Nova, when I lost my father, of course, I was busy and up and about, and people were sending me condolences. Then at a certain point, around 6, 7 p.m., I think on that same day or the day after Mzee died, Nova calls me all of a sudden and he's like, Tabz, I've been trying to reach out to people. He tells me, please share with me your contact. Then I shared it with him. He tells me, I've been trying to reach out to people to send me condolences, but people are not trusting me. So please make a tweet and tell people that if they need to send condolences, they can send them to me, meaning him. So I tell Nova, but people are sending me condolences. Why? And they're able to reach out to me. But anyway, I'm going to send you I'm going to make the tweet. If you check my timeline, around 20th or 19th of September last year, I made that tweet that people can reach out to know. If you're unable to reach out to me, you can reach out to Nova. So Nova, the burial goes ahead. Nova comes. One of my our family friends calls me and tells me, I've sent Nova money to buy a bouquet, a wreath for Mzee, and he's coming with it. She asked, I need to buy a wreath for Mzee. Who can I send it with? I told her I have already traveled, and all my sisters have already traveled, and my brother, and there's people I'm sure are coming, and there's a gentleman called Nova. Please reach out to him. Which he did, sent money, which was purposely sent for the wreath. That money came with transport for Nova. I need to be very specific. And Nova actually got that wreath and delivered it. People reached out to me, some sent condolences to me, and others sent money to Nova. I'll quickly try to track one transaction, which was sent to Nova, specifically. Nova, when he came home, after the burial, I was seated in the living room after the church leaders had prayed for us. Nova comes in with my sister and friend Agatha, and he tells me, Pius sent him money, and which other person? So he gives me 120,000. He told me he topped up to make 120,000. In the topping up, he told me he was trying to make a round figure. So he gives me the 120,000 and tells me that's what he collected. But a friend of mine who works at Monitor had told me he could not be able to come for the burial, but sent me money through Nova, which amount he told me. That money was given to Nova in USD. Now, Nova, I do not know what exchange rate he used to exchange the money that was given to him, or I'm not really certain if it was given to him in negatives. I do not know, but I received 120,000. And now,
So how did, if I may interrupt, how
please,
did he
you
send it
told
to
me
in
to not
USD?
interrupt with your
On which
submission.
account?
Kindly fuck off.
Okay, Tabz,
So,
as we go forward, we kindly request that we manage our language and usage of words very well.
muganda wange ffe tuli bageto twanyiganyiga dda kati bw'oba onalowooza nti n'amateeka wagaliwo tugamenye, but here is my submission.
Yeah, sure.
If he wants to listen, he can kindly,
Carry on.
did I repeat? Fuck
Carry
off. Anyway, after the burial, Agatha tells me her car was taken to drop her mother. And I told her, Agatha, I can drive you, and I can drive you guys and drop you off in Kabwe. Guys, you people who know home know the main tarmac road. The distance from the main tarmac road to Kabwe town is like a minute or two. Even if you're driving like at 10 kilometers per hour, you will take maybe 2 minutes from the main tarmac road to Kabwe. So after the burial, I'm driving Agatha. Agatha is seated in the front. Nova is seated at the back. We meet a friend of mine near the road, on the main road. And I asked these guys, let's drop off this girl because she's walking, coming from the burial, and she's going to town. She sits in the car at the back with Nova. Now, from there, it didn't even take 2 minutes to drive from there to town, to Kabwe town. And it is in Kabwe town where as you begin the town, this is where I dropped Nova and Agatha. Now, this girl was going to Mbarara, and she was going to Kampala, but she was going to board from Mbarara. So she told me, please drop me at the main Mbarara stage. And that's where I dropped her. And I drove back home. Because Irene's phone had been stolen at the burial, and she was calling me to go back and help her block it. She was calling me using my sister's phone. Now, I go back home, and before I know it, later that evening, this girl is sending me messages and telling me, please, no, in the car, maybe to take you a little bit back, in the car, when that girl entered, I told her, look, I am here with celebrities. Agatha, she said, I know Agatha. Then I told her, you president wa mwoku Twitter. That's how I said it. And this girl said, hey, you know Nova president wafe. I said, you're president wa mwe. I said, you can even exchange numbers and contacts. Kubaka tosanza abakuru. Agatha nagamba, Nova can give her his contact. Now I'm number in good faith. This girl texts me later in the evening, Nagamba, but Nova is becoming weird. He's already texting me that we should meet in Bara and spend the night in Bara together. Nimugamba, Oli muntu mukuru, you're already on the bus. If you need to come back and meet those people, please come and meet them. If you feel that it is offending you, please tell him, in good faith. And I thought, do it. So the next day after the burial, after like 2 days, I don't know what they call it. I don't know what they call it in Uganda. After that, I had to drive Irene to the airport, my wife. I drove her to the airport. Now coming back, this girl calls me and tells me Tabz. At that point, she was with my friend Nwaha Godwin. His handle is Nwaha17 on Twitter here. She calls me and tells me, please, I am here. Nova keeps calling me, texting me. I have blocked him and he's calling me with a different contact. Nemugamba, no. I do not even see why you should be giving him that attention. If you feel that he's becoming weird, tell him off. And she told me that she had told him off, but he kept spamming her with messages. I mean, I didn't think it was really something that I needed to involve myself in. But then Nwaha calls me and tells me, Tabz, I went, I drove, I was coming from the airport, I drove to Nwaha, and I found Nwaha with this woman. And then, Nemugamba Nedda, Nova, Mukubiye, Tumugambe, Chino Chakola Chicham. When we called Nova, he was up and about. He was as though trying to start a fight. Nemugamba Nova. Of course, Fenatwani got your time, and the exchange wasn't good. I told him, Nova, you really need to tame your horn. Nagamba Tabz, you're calling it horn. I'm trying to mobilize people. I told him, look, Nova. This woman says the only message you've sent in a way of mobilizing is just a poster in digital form about killing Kampala. But you have been spamming her with messages and she's not willing to take any of that bullshit. And she's here crying and you're being stupid. And that is the point. He hung up on me and then I sent him the messages that you've seen in the screenshots. So Nova, you are only trying to use that to use it as a blanket to cover the questions that you're asking here about accountability. You took money from my friends and never accounted for that money. There's even transactions that we can follow up. Yeah? I do not want to cross to Sadi's side, but my friend, we are aware of what you're doing. And again, these are things that are easy to track. People would send you money and call me. I mean, someone sends a condolence and says, man, Tabz, so but I have sent my money through Nova. The woman who sent you transport to come to Kampala and sent you money to buy a rat was in my DMs. I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna share that DM on my timeline right now. She was very, very, very sad that that's what you did with you were trying to take PR off the money she gave you to buy Muzee's. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot and say and send it to and share it on my timeline. Nova, you need to be. We are not stopping you from trying to help, but even when you help sheepishly as you do it, please know that people are going to ask you questions and you must answer those questions for as long as you're doing something for a public cause. Do not try to tarnish people's names and try to say, I have my wife, a very beautiful wife. They were introduced on my father's burial. Maybe if they introduced you as my child, but I'm sorry if you think this is about your hate, it is not about it. But I never saw anyone introduce any child as mine on my father's burial. If I missed that, my speech, my father's burial proceedings were all recorded from start to end. We can rewatch it a million times and you show me where children were introduced and people were told that those are my children. You need to get your lies straight. I mean, you can't be a liar and be perfect at it, Nova. I beg to submit. And guys, have a good night.
Good girl.
You
Can
have a
I
minute.
respond?
You
Yes,
just
in a
have
minute.
1 minute. Just
Yes,
1 minute.
exactly. One, I want to request Tabz to bring a screenshot of a friend who works at Daily Monitor, where he said that he sent me $100 and where he sent it in dollars. I don't have a dollar account, so I don't understand how he sent me money because he didn't give it to me in cash. I don't have a dollar account. I don't know how he sent it to me.
Nova,
So
if I'm transferring money to you now, national government wanted to money just like you didn't know about IVF or you.
You share the screenshot.
Now listen, when I send you money, whether I'm sending it from anywhere, and it is maybe coming from a dollar account or it is from an international transfer, whether someone is here or not, it will arrive to you in Uganda shillings. Yes, don't think every money that is sent to you in dollars will come to you in dollars, or money that's sent to you in euros will come in euros. Total do we, sir? Money was sent to you and you're not accounting for it.
Okay, kindly tell your friend who sent me the $100.
I'm not going to tell him anything. I'm not going to tell him anything. I am only asking him to account for
okay.
that
People are
money.
listening.
Also,
people are listening. It's okay.
Wow. And also, please clarify on the children that were introduced to people on my father's burial as my own.
Don't try to dodge the and please give me my time.
Okay,
you have given me a minute. Give it to me. So, I wish Agatha was here to. But anyway, there is nothing much more to prove.
By the way, Agatha called me today pleading for your ass. I have that call recorded. Don't trigger me to share it.
You share it. It's okay. People are on this space, and they are listening, and I know that they are human beings. They have brains. They can process things. So what I wanted to make clear was that whatever you always say about me is not out of good faith. It's because of a woman. I have never harassed a woman in my life. Never. The woman was crying because you were beating her because that's what you do. You beat women. That's what you do. That's why she was crying. But anyway, I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to spoil my night over this. Let me give the microphone back. I never ate any coin of your condolences.
As a matter of fact, to clear something about
money.
that, Nova, when I met Agatha at DHL, shortly after that, Agatha asked me about that experience, about that occurrence, and then we called, together with Agatha, we called that friend of mine, yeah? And you will need to know what she told Agatha. Because you were making allegations, and she came and rubbished everything that you were saying. She told Agatha, you're making it uncomfortable for her, and that's why she told you to please fuck off, kindly.
So do you shared screenshots of our conversation? I wish that you could also, because if you still have them, then you have screenshots of me harassing her, because she showed you the messages, how I harassed her, how I called her. You must have kept those screenshots. Kindly also share them on the timeline.
I will ask her, and I will share them. Trust me, I will ask her to share them with me, and I will share them right on the timeline.
Okay.
Perhaps by the time you
people are listening to you,
you will find them on the timeline.
Just know that people are listening to you, and they will be demanding for those screenshots. So I beg to submit, and that is it from me as Nova. But lastly, good girl, I don't know if you're good girl or something. I want to say that people need to be so careful with whatever they pick from the internet. We have people, I saw Chuck saying we don't have haters. We have haters. We have people who hate us for so many different reasons. Someone hates you for something, and we won't come to explain everything or put it in the limelight that, hey, for me, I felt like this issue of a woman was not worth whatever was happening. So when you see people attacking so-and-so, when you see people alleging this and that on someone's name, on someone's brand, the reason I requested for this space was because I was seeing causes being washed off. We have run causes, and we have helped people. We have sacrificed, you know. I wanted to talk about the SAD campaign and briefly, but that will be for another day. But you people should know that you are also known. You are human beings. We know your zeros. We know what you missed. We know what you have been doing. But we just decide to be civil and focus on issues that can move this country, that can progress this country.
Nova, you know what people have done, and you're keeping quiet about it. If we know what you've done and it's wrong, for us, we shall not keep quiet about it.
Then you say it the right way.
And I'm saying it the right way. Nova, those messages will show up on the timeline, and you have nowhere to hide.
Done. That's wrong, Tabz.
Banange mulazewa.
Waye mukuru olowooza chicho. I'm glad some things were put straight. I'm glad some things are out. I'm glad some things that are off people's chests. And I'm glad for this space that it happened. Chaka yabuze ekibuuzo mukatugenze na chichaka nabo sabo muzindalo naye mama obudde nga bwedde muganda wange. Tetulebake?
Nedda chaka muwombo Masudi.
No, I have a question.
Masuda ino muzindalo yatubanjiza taserese chaka naye nkuwadde. You have 1 second wabula tewera na minutes chaka. Tugalewo tunyuke.
Masudi akapapula kapu
no echacha asate ngera zifuna zo kwetofa yoba mumbere cyo ba mumbere tere ko ngera zifuna zitwali yali anyati na wanja ya tionesa tunaanza ja kuuza Nova ani akulonda ba kulonderawa ovako dikwanga mpulo tuita weita sima Uganda president on X sima bakulonda abantu bange bangamba ba kulonda bansaba
ate na ulide na president bayiza we kwani yakulonda oyina sebo oyina majese
okubera president sagala
balota president
sagalanze nebo bagala mbe president wabe ne sagala banga kubanga balaba kati Nova ani akulonda
bakogerayo ko
chako ine second emu
to naikale chenguza ensonga ya mama dite twasaze oba mufere oba simufere ensonga ya Nova ne Tabz ani mutufu ani alimba nayo gira amazima bana temuleka mu banga tune bibuzo bingi
jumali yakutiye kwa mbadeze
tuliko bino kugwa
Masudi question yena yebisikadde ndoza conversation ejja kugwera kutiyero oba tekyobokola tekako tuwe poll kolereyo ka poll akamangu tusalewo oba mufere oba si mufere tusalewo ku Nova ne Tabz ani mutufu so ndoza tusokolayo kagundi ka poll akamangu speed wakati ani agalo kulola Sisi yakogera mazima kati byo mwamanya amazima byo mwatadde amazima ge ku table
tusizanga abana
kati yali
ne mama diye nyiri mulesage ndenga temugande
Tabz yagambye agenda yonse.
Awudde bananga babadde
bese birungi kati Tabz ne video omukazi
wa agambye agenda yonse mu mirembe kuba mutandise omukabya.
Bana Nova katemo ebizo bya
Juba ali ate uyo salo ngali nyenyonyi yomuka paka Juba owai.
Tabz Nova katemo ebizo bya ani amulonda bamulonderawo avako ddi.
That's a question.
Obula Mogani bana nzensivu de musule bulungi baganda bange tunatandikirawo entamugani kan take over please.
Kwetiri anjagala bimani to mani omaze okunya ni block kandabe.
Pesa against banange kabaddemu ebibuzo bya Gideon nalina ekyokogera yena we have an hour to go.
Kyendabye mu nsonga zino eza Tabz ne Nova. Situation ya Kenzo
gye bateeka nya rema gye yabateekamu kale
nange kyendaba
byonna nti wali buzibu w'amaanyi wano just omukazi yabatambula kale kiba kisinga kye mwandikoze kuyalinga mukazi oyo ku tiye ne tumuffe
ne tusalawo oba yeetaaga okunyiza abasajja ababiri.
Guys, I'm very far away from home. I need to. It's already past midnight. I need to get home.
Sokoddemu ebibuzo by'amasuudi ogende.
Agenza ebibuzo byange tabizzeemu.
Ate bisobola byogerako ensonga omukazi bamukwe tumulabeko tusakimanyi.
Mwagala kunyiga bangi ensonga tugirekere babiri bebabanyiga bajja genda omuleeta.
Twagala abasajja bannaffe nga bayimira omukazi.
Bajja genda oleeta omukazi nga wuwo.
Nesituddeeyo.
Tabs sebo mtulesha omukazi. Actually that conversation is incomplete without the contribution of the woman. Kuba kati tetumanya ani mutuufu ali mukyama. But as the conversation continues,
why olaba bampadde abaana b'Estanazaala ate oyo omukazi.
Kaka kyengeri gy'atali mukazi kati mutulage ffe.
Eti mpusiwulidde ogambe ki?
Engeri gy'atali mukazi wo just omumanyi bumanya.
No. By the way, let me ask her if she's okay with me sharing the picture. I'm going to send it here right away. So I'm Mukaga.
Just share the hand, not the picture.
Taina Twitter. That's the challenge. No, you ngenda basi ya kifananyi.
Akafananyi ko kakuwa.
Estaina.
Chabana baleke. Na akafananyi ko mukazi keteta gola.
Masudi astazi over and over ya mulidde.
Exactly.
Bale oni chaudi nsali sokula banze nganje neto nawe nasoko kuyisa mu ddali nsonga za mamadi. Naye
sinagenda Tabs ne Nova mbawadde lunch ku mmezo ngenda basasulira mujje mulye lunch mwimalewe ebyekisibisire byo muri mukonda bya
kiri nkubanja sente zange one blocking kata towoza lunch soko sasuleze nkubanja uli kolete stories za lunch ate yaga kuntwala n'omusajja muli webi nnyo nawe era
omanja ate zaaki
bikefe tuisewo bulango banange ana oli bina byo mulanga.
Guys, we are soon closing this space. Closing
host wa peje bali ko sebo.
Kaita kalengo kokawedde sebo.
Ani ndake kubira. We don't have kubira we kagala.
What's should you very quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Zebinde sesi bingi kyasinze bayita Sunday eno. Mujye ku final yake mtu wagire munnange. Kazi baweerere gosonga ko gwenkuwa. We bali nyo sebo kama wa host.
Okay, thank you. Lone child.
Bweza
simanyo bana bitatuba tukuyita salo ngolo
tochikola nja kuisa gari nja kunoonya nga Tabs bwe yagamba Nova mmanyi bw'obeera nja kunoonya atenze nkozesa yirizi by the way
we realize in our conversation you realize I did not tell Nova that I just told him you used the character atenze jendera Nova wanyambe ani ko twala
nze mogani nja munoonya nja sagala mutu kako nja musindikira empewo zimusangeyo ku nupu offices zimujizeyo Anyway, guys, jokes aside, tusoke tuveyo. Nze njagala soka kwebaza Tabs. You know, very few people stand for the truth, honestly. You know, if you zone Nova, nze wofira wenfira Tabs. Wera wompira nti bakuteko bwensindikira location. Omuntu yena goyagala kuyiwe ebinyo gwempa bwi location. Nze ni musajja wa mirembe. Naye Tabs kwenfira. Ekyokubiri. Why do you guys what muwawo okulaba? Why are you guys so gullible? Kweno up. Nti basobola okubabanga amaaso gamwe tebakutadde ku gun point. Tebakutadde ku even omanyi bana bafere bakuswita bakusiriwaza. Niba kubba niba kunokwate simu eno mu code no sindika sente niba wati muri sagala bayita basiru kuba bambi bwe mayita basimu izo okunyigira tete munjagala mbamanyi neze sibatya munna sibatya naye wati baba banga mulaba wati temulowooza wati temulina bwongo ate ekyo kusatu wati bwenagezaako obayitira mu nimba wa akasasi ni mutana ate ne mufukira ku mpaluzali kati muliyo mukomesho kumana itusonyiwe de twamanya fuck off Tabs wanjigiriza akagambo fuck off you cannot fuck off. Lastly Chuck gambye nkusonyeza bera nsanywa abantu olaba n'omuntu gwena yasinga okunkola ekintu ekibi kwenensi namusonyo wadda just wakuba I just don't respect people who fuck with me but I forgive. I just don't have respect. No, listen Chuck, but the fact that you have taken accountability no gamba easy we are man to man ngenda kwa blocking after tankiwe twakuma me someone who takes accountability choka you acknowledge your mistake naye kati bano kule ekintu nate no kyekalizaamu noja notugamba clock yayatika the finger bust the clock wegamba batula bakama matune batuyita mbuzi kati abuze simanyi watu tole but anyway that's all I had to say. Ekirala banange kusande tuli ku Gazalandi gundi final muje tuwagire omusajja wa Keith on Sunday we meet at tubera Bulenga byoka bingi badde njagala kubabulira that's all.
Oli wakabi nnyo mwana oli wakabi.
I say now chakabi bro
kale top G Nyawa de Fadi Mike wanange. Wanange.
Costing. Gundi space in the costing ile kulemi.
Nenda you and busy. Plus you can carry on. If there is nobody to carry on,
Eya majuzi byawe wende tulaba ko Fahadi ne Masudi n'akazinda kati wakyali kyamagezi kiri wano so abagala okeba kugende ngibake.
Fadi seba ine songa ze zamulumedda.
Ayina.
Lone child okugamba abantu abasindika sente nga basubira nti bataasa bulamu bw'abantu nti basiru ng'ate ye bamufera omukwano kati abo bakitegeera nabo musiro okukumi.
Kasajja gwa kite wewa.
Kati kusebo lodi. Gwe bafera omukwano ne gwe bafera sente ne gwe basinga okufera.
Tukonza omukwano.
Okufera sente nga twasifera omukwano.
Jago bakakusonyiwa naye.
Ate mwana bantu ne ndio nsonga ziwedde. Naye tugenda kukusana tujja Gundi Bulenga.
That muje Bulenga wanange nawe temwina byakwogera nze kanebaze abantu bonna bambi abadde omuligi yaffe kuva gitwatandikira yonna mubali kuwagalagaza land so Sunday eno tuli Bulenga wali muje wama tuwagire omupiira tunyumirwe tuzine tuyimbe
Timu kina chebincheo.
timu ezatuka ku final kuliko Foot Soldier ne Muvubuka Foot Soldier FC Muvubuka FC zigenda kwekuba endiba kwegamba masavu gandi kagenda byali nga gatangali jagati. So guys, kusande sagala musigale waka mwebake mujye Bulenga tukikube bubi nnyo. Yali wudde.
Omwaka ogujja tulonda Bobi Wine bana nyisule bulungi.
Kale ngende ne umulireko akumata kumira mpeera.
Banange Fadi agenda tuwesala addale utuve wanene agenda atunulire polls either atuyambo ku updating all of shame oba nedda.
Nze yakajanze mu kabisa muri bayaye.
Tuzokola.
Sija bisaba buli omu asabe mu dinyi. Loni musamize.
Loni bajaja tebamulaga nga bamufera.
Kikola. Wala musajja yakasonyi wensi yonna kuddeko. Naye loni mulogo kazo tateeranga.
Ida loni mbali njagala basibula musule bulungi.
Wewe kusala sebo kama yeba
Masudi as sababi ebintu bya mwesiri sabanze ninge you have my other ways of praying but Masudi ine kibuzo kyabuziza kyemanyi ansa agirina so sigenda kiddamu musule bulungi
katoze muddamu ki
sina kyamuddamu waliwo ebintu ebimu omuntu akubuza n'omanya alina kyayagala and you just have to tell from a distance ito alina kyakunoonyaamu kitegeera. I just said what I said. Yeah, muleke ajafuna kyayagala mu obudde musule bulungi
nze John kiraba ningamba naye
muleke
muntu omulemerako n'otukana okola n'ozikisa
erika gweswe sirikire
mukwate mu mpate mba mu reporting nje mwinjawulo
naye gwe nze mpuliriza omukazi ng'afumba era emmere ebadde esinga ne yali kukukathoni baaba wo omwana oyo yakimanyi nti Abannayuganda bw'oteekamu olulimi oluzungu n'otandika ofumba mpola
taxi mbu tobikiriza
atwala eri naawe
mbuuza bukuuza bannaayi
oyo mwana mu kufumba balina omuwa Guinness World Record kusimaya biki bikyani okitegeera ku nnasu aliwo agimukolera enkya tugimutwalire mu byayogedde kuno ku space kubaddeko abantu nga 8 nga tebakyabitegeerako ddala
nze nakomyaka aba
ekituufu kyo kiri nti oba abantu abatuuka ku point of no shame nga mbutuufu omuntu n'otuuka abantu n'obafumba abantu omutwalo gumu era omuntu nga muyaye mwana aba mukambwe ennyo aba yasala layini boy kubanga ebintu byayogedde yasoose n'atulaga nti gundi mulimba Buule who is a journalist nti mulimba tiyaja n'ayogera condition simaya bagita batya Kisimaya clamp ya biki yafudde journalist omulimba nafuula ne novel omulimba okitegeera ate n'atakoma kwekyo ate atulya mu breadcrumbs n'agamba I used novel more than I used my brothers okitegeera just nti tubadde naive pickingamu ebintu ebimu but buli kimu abadde akikola step by step emujjukira Sematimba omwana yagamba mbu yamutwala process by process bwekyobamanya bukyanga batukwata bujega nga UOX or whatever batukutta obujega olwaleero era nze nzikiriza wabanga ekyo kyali alina okukolera ssente ezo leero amazeeyo bumazi segera ssente zazikoleredde awe nategedde nti Masudi ye 150 si wakuddamu kukirabako obulamu bwe bwonna.
Ne Masudi asobola tuwa ku lisiti kuba tuyinza okubanga naye.
Masudi alina ekisa. Bwagamba nti yakuwadde aba yakuwadde, si musajja gwe manyi okulimba.
Nahinga yayanguwa.
Ne kintu kigenda kwonoona like abantu bebadde bayamba wano ku yoti nti kigenda beera kizibu oli okuva eri n'agamba nti banaye munyamba abantu ne bamuyamba. Because bwe magenda balowooza abantu babbi bayaye balimba naye nga abantu baleetaaga obuyambisebo olumu nga byaddala. Naye buli omu afuna ekyokuyiga bwe muddayo ewaka pini gigaadinge buli woba ogenda okunyigawo tisendi digiti esembayo fumiitirizaamu weebuuze ezo sente z'ogenda oweereza kozi ntuufu wakati gundi yo yakubiddwamu David leadership nti bo bagenda na kigenda buli azze ayagala kuteekawo layini bamuwe sente ajja kukyayogera byayogera bamuwe booki.
Okay, I want to call off the space. I have to get busy, but as I conclude, banange bidi abiri mukaga tugenda mukalulu. It is very important to collect choice entuufu etwale gwanga lya femmaso. Zine mbozi zetu havinga kuno ku excess mutezandi badde usinga tubadde ni egwange lirina institutions eziri function. Singa tubadde n'amalwaliro tetwandi badde n'abantu in court bavaayo kutufera n'amalwaliro gakola. Singa tubadde n'okulembeza obwagala abantu tetwandi badde na issues zino ezimu. So as I call off the space, the protest vote is up. 2026, we are voting, and we agreed we are voting His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Make it a point to give in your efforts for the betterment of our country. Think of a Uganda that works for all of us. A Uganda whereby you don't need to have a Gamba no-go. You don't need to have somebody in the PDF to clear your bills. Just imagine if you're Ugandan out there who is not known, who is going to come out and contribute your bills. We just need to build a country that works for all with what we call a common good. A common good is an item or it is a service that can be utilized by all people. Mwabatambuddeko mukimanyi obwavu bwo bukoma mu nju yo. The moment you step out of your apartment or wherever you're sleeping ogenda tambulira ku nguudo nnungi ogenda genda mu malwaliro amalungi buli kimu kibeera kirungi n'obeera ng'oli mwavu. Naye ffe mu Uganda, even if you reach to what point obugagga bwo bukoma mu ogenda tambulira ku nguudo ezirimu ebinnya ogenda kugwa ku accident bagenda okutuusa mu ddwaliro nga ofudde. But it is very important tuveeyo ku lw'enkyukakyuka tulonde President waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Nakawa East tulinayo omwami Alex Waiswa Mafumbiro ate kosa leader of opposition. Nakawa West wali Kampala Central tulinawo SG waffe David Louis Lubongoya. Bonna akabonero manvuli. We call it a night. We meet next time.
Ate kapo tetujogeddeeko. Twakati otusuuliraani. Nga gavumenti yatuvaako.